shots. Jessica KORDA already off to a great start this year. Here's her second shot at the third.
A short par 3 here with a little wedge. Give herself a pretty easy tap-in birdie there.
That would be her first birdie. They maybe don't try to do too much. Here she was at the 5th.
So beware of the sick golfer. I mean, it sounds like it really just came on there on the 18th hole.
Get up at a hole, the 4th, that mimics the postage stamp at Troon.
Getting the opportunity to play Royal Troon last year for the AIG Women's British.
Homage to Augusta National. That's where Jennifer Kupcho won the Augusta National Women's Amateur. Maybe feeling some good Augusta National vibes. Here she is at the 6th to get to 3 under par.
Her third birdie in a row.
Her sister Nelly, and Nelly for birdie at the 5th.
Just feeding off each other here.
Today and all season, maybe. So Nelly picks up her first birdie, gets to 1 under par.
She's showing her form here this morning already.
Here's her third shot at the par 5 7th.
4 birdies in a row.
How about that?
Why not? It was so impressive what she did last year at CME and didn't play very much because of the COVID break and stayed in Korea until the last few events of the season. And she's fun to watch play. She doesn't do much wrong. She just is very, very consistent. She just has such a beautiful rhythm with her putting stroke. And to have the opportunity with her parents there, being so close to home, only a couple hours from where she lived, I know that was extra special. I love the picture where they had Sebi, her brother, on the phone,
yes.
Just to make him feel like he was part of it too. You know, whole family affair.
Nelly had not yet joined the LPGA Tour the last time this was played here at Golden Ocala. He was on the Symetra Tour, rookie in 2017.
It'll be a little bit more of a challenge with the firmness of the greens this week for the players out there.
Good start for Jessica. A couple of birdies there at 3 and 4, which we saw highlights of, and 2 under par, tied for 4th.
Maybe her second birdie of the day here at the 9th as she fights her way back.
This from 177. It is downhill, but back into that little cold breeze. Do have to allow for a little bit of release on these green.
Yeah, good one. Thank you. Judging the release.
Season or into playing on tour.
Stacy, nice week last week.
Nicely done, gets her into red numbers there, Grant.
Yeah, tied for 8th at Lake Nona.
Nelly KORDA for birdie.
A little bit uphill, not much, turning just a tiny bit left.
Yeah, read it well.
Just absolute perfect speed. Looks like the ball was looking for a hiding place when it went in.
Now Jessica for par.
Pretty good bunker shot that didn't release. Oh, goodness, that just turned so hard late.
First bogey of the week for Jessica. Was working with Jonathan Yarwood this week. He was out walking with her in the practice round. Fourth last week.
But they're just sort of standard speed for LPGA golf right now, about 11.5 on the stimp. So they've had to make that adjustment, and Kupcho has made it very easily.
Charley Hull at the 10th. What kind of competitor is Charley Hull? You've gone against her in Solheim Cups?
Very many times. She's fierce. She's relentless. She's got a great attitude on the golf course.
Charley Hull, even par to get to 1 under here at the 10th. Nine pars and a birdie.
The firm green should release nicely. The only hard part about this shot is the uphill lie. Tough to hit it as hard as you need to. She did a really, really good job. Maybe a perfect job.
Are you kidding? What in the world? Oh, Nelly KORDA with a birdie from behind the green at 10. Thank you very much to 3 under within 1. Tribute hole to the 13th at Augusta National. And here's Georgia Hall, who was born the week that Nick Faldo won his 3rd Masters, 1996. And of course, that 13th at Augusta National is one of the great risk-reward holes of all time.
It's a bogey putt here at the 11th for Stacey Lewis.
And some bogeys are better than others, Tom.
Yeah,
that was a really good bogey.
That was a good up and down in the end for Stacey.
Austin Ernst for birdie. Got back into the winner's circle last summer.
Brittany Lincecum on the tee.
Brittany's been struggling a little bit with the thumb issue, actually from carrying her child. And it's definitely, I think she's struggled to practice.
Lincecum for birdie. Missed opportunity there, so should be a par for Brittany. That was just a moment ago. You mentioned that thumb.
Those elbows get a little bit too far away from your body. It makes it much harder to control the face.
3rd bogey for Jin Young Ko to go with 3 birdies.
People physically play and their results, but they don't think about, you know, the decision making that goes on behind the scenes, and a lack of focus can really hurt that.
She was in the bunker off the tee there and gets it up and down.
Anna Nordquist with the 3rd shot at the 12th.
This from 88 yards, so slightly closer. And I should sort of revisit that swale at the back. There is one there, but it's not as deep. I don't think it's the one as Augusta.
Right. Par putt for Kupcho.
And to Morgan's point about how she knows this golf course, she probably had it in the back of her mind how Augusta played on this hole.
Go to the 13th hole, which is a tribute to the road hole, the 17th on the old course at St Andrews. The flag today right on the front of the green. That's a birdie for Austin.
Definitely the most accessible hole location on that green, with the giant ridge runs across the middle.
Morgan, it's awesome.
They did a really good job, and as we talked about earlier, they made a few tweaks. They brought the water closer to the green.
A little surprised that she did actually replay the tee shot instead of leaving herself from the fairway of this par 3, a little 100-yard wedge or something. But I think she just felt she had a better chance to get enough spin on something to stop from the tee.
It is an advantage. There is a little backstop there, long and right, that she can use to get some spin. This one coming in lower, so it won't be affected by the wind as much.
Yeah, good shot there.
What an advantage hitting the drive down to that point.
Only had 3 birdies today at this hole. And make it 4. I did go to the computer and almost read the stats for the 17th.
That's where she lost that playoff to Jessica KORDA in the season opener. Missed opportunity there. 13 again.
Just a moment ago for par, Nordquist.
And that was a good looking stroke, Tom.
There was just a lot of grass to cover with the first effort. I didn't realize it was so far off the green there. Bogey.
Okay. Cup reached up and grabbed it. 3 straight birdies for Austin Ernst. Is Korea's Jin Young Ko's 3rd shot at 12.
Let's have 79 yards for her 3rd after a 6-iron layup, and very well done.
I would say I do a similar thing, though. I try to putt every putt as a straight putt. I'm not a linear putter, but when I'm over the ball, you don't want to try and manipulate your stroke for the break, I guess is what that means to me. But that one just...
That wiggled a bit, didn't it? I don't know, maybe a pull. Birdie putt for Jessica KORDA at 12.
Good bunker shot to here to give herself a chance from a downhill lie in the sand. Pretty straight.
She feasts on par fives, lost her glasses, picks up a birdie. Third on tour last year in par five scoring average.
15 was that won the tournament because a lot of bad things could have happened from short right there.
And that putt actually did what that one did. Maybe didn't go all the way around the hole like it did at 15, but got close to Jin Young Ko. And then what did Jin Young do? She won the CME Group Tour Championship.
Good shot there from Danielle Kang. Danielle Kang for birdie. Mentioned the Olympics. The US on the women's side would currently, well done, be represented by Nelly, KORDA, Danielle Kang and Lexi Thompson.
Maybe not quite keep the putter moving smoothly through. No, those look pretty good to me though.
That green is just so flat, and I think when you have a really flat green, you want to read break into it. I feel like sometimes the straight putts are the hardest.
Stacey Lewis has some fond memories of the old course. This for birdie.
Yes, she does. That was from a really good spot to putt from too. Left herself quite perfectly there.
Nelly.
Gap wedge from 102. Line is ideal.
Beauty. Go in. Yeah, almost. Almost knocking it in.
I didn't see much from the other side of the hole. It might wiggle right then left, but it's minimal.
And wiggled right in. Par 3. Austin Ernst for par. Flag today tucked back right up on the shelf.
Yeah. As she continues to play like this, she'll climb those rankings. Just 95 yards sand wedge. Needs to spin.
Both the KORDA sisters have a look at birdie there on this 13th hole.
I think I love that about Jess's game, the speed that she plays. Nelly the same way. They don't take a lot of time. They see it, they commit to it. I feel like sometimes the longer you spend over a shot, the more doubt creeps into your head.
Heavily sloped from back to front with a little tier in the middle of it that if you want to get close to this hole, you've either got to judge the bounce to bounce up the top or land it softly on that top tier. Oh yeah, she did. She landed it right at the base of that bank.
It's a tribute to the 4th at Baltusrol. Stacey Lewis for birdie.
I'm not sure that this does much, Tom.
She said hit it. She was tied for the lead after the opening round of the first LPGA event played here back in 2015. Shot 6 under. Martha Munoz and Jessica KORDA tied with her.
English woman Georgia Hall at the 16th.
This is the most challenging hole location on this hole, and that might be one of the best shots you're going to see all day. The green pitches away from you, especially we talked about the greens being firm.
You can maybe learn to hole it out from the bunker like Christy Kerr just did. So Georgia Hall on the green makes par. Christy in the bunker makes birdie. Looks good. All right. Danielle Kang back-to-back birdies and back to 1 under par, which at the moment is tied for 17th. Here is the aforementioned Christy Kerr. What kind of a teammate is Christy?
She's a fierce competitor, great teammate. I've been paired with her many times on.
And you watched her do that a bunch, didn't you?
On Solheim Cup teams, there is zero give up on Christy Kerr.
Kupcho for par.
Pretty straightforward one here, Tom. Nothing much doing.
So good 2-putt. And she remains at 5 under.
This doesn't look like a 7. Let me check.
I'm not going to lie. I've hit the wrong club before. I've looked down and, oh my gosh, it was a 5-wood instead of a 3-wood or vice versa. And
it's really bad when you get the 6 and 9 irons confused. Yeah. Huge difference.
Change after hitting some poor irons.
Jessica looking for 3 birdies in a row.
Sand wedge. Sister outdrove her by about 7 or 8 inches. Which was not forgotten amongst the two.
I feel like it always takes me a couple of events just to get a little rust off, feel comfortable under the gun again after, a 2-month break.
And then the long break, it wasn't early in the season, but there was a long break. I don't know if was it injury or was it when she had the surgery? She
it
comes
was after
back,
surgery, yeah.
And then wins the first one easily overseas.
Yeah, that was her. So 4 times she's won in Ernst. Par's a good one at the 16th, as you said. You'll take par all 4 days there, wouldn't you? Blistered Lake Nona Saturday.
And then had a few of those big pulls on Sunday in timely positions.
And it all added up to a 4th.
Nice bad week.
Yeah. We talked about Se-Young Kim having a quote-unquote off week. Tied for 24th was Se-Young's worst finish in a year and a half.
Going with 7-iron on this very picturesque par 3. Gave it the full treatment. Just a little right of the hole, depending on the club.
Climbs back there, and it's going to be in good shape. Back at the 15th, where we saw 3 very nice tee shots. This is the first effort for birdie.
Yeah, the longest of the 3, but the easiest of the 3 putts.
Yeah, made it.
Straight uphill.
Jessica is on a good run here.
What a bounce back after 11.
Could be better.
Yeah, very good indeed. There's a good chance there for Nelly.
Because these greens are so new, they don't always do what you see. A few wiggles here and there, but that's a nice catch.
Tied for the lead.
See if she hits a good one here. They've been few and far between today, but this one is directly at it.
Climbing up there, yes.
Anything moving a touch left. Ooh. Well, that thing, you could see it kind of wiggle.
The greens just bedding in. It's the way it is, but I think they're going to be, well, they're pretty good right now, but give it a little more time, they're going to be just perfect here.
And a little work for Kupcho at 16. Handles it with a plum.
Third shot for Austin. It's a tough hole, the 17th. And that is really well done. Is it going to drop? Is it going to drop? Yeah, perfect from Austin Ernst. And Austin on a great run on this back 9. Look at that.
And elsewhere.
Second at 17 for Kupcho.
That's from 163. Plays about, a couple uphill. It's a high draw.
There are 4 different levels on this green, and she's on the correct one.
Multiple times per year.
Well, she's definitely got the game. And in her rookie season, she was actually my little sister. They have a great program on tour as a mentorship program for rookies. And, I think she expected a lot of herself with her game, but, went through all the little things that rookies go through.
Sure.
Struggling with caddies, struggling with travel. Yes. There's a reason she was sent out first. The firepower, the aggressive play, get out there, get a point on the board, and that weather was terrible.
Just going a little left. Right on line. Chen Young's bunker shot rolled just inside where Jessica's putted from, so she has a lot of work remaining for par.
There was some great Instagram action from Jessica in tears watching Nelly win for the first time on the LPGA Tour. Age of the winner was 28 years old. Until Nelly last week at 22, she was the youngest winner on the LPGA Tour since she won at the end of 2019. Okay. How about it? And she started 2 over through 4.
What a great comeback. Great, very impressive performance at Lytham, Royal Lytham in St. Anne's.
Just curls that in.
That's one of my favorite courses. I love that.
Off that downslope that she had for her third, but
Supposing she makes the Solheim Cup, what kind of a player do you think she'll be, Morgan?
I think she'll be a solid player, just like Karen just said. She is playing solid golf. Her tee ball, she's hitting the driver really well. Her iron game, she hits it long, as I mentioned.
Anna Nordquist for birdie at the 18th. Stacey Lewis for birdie at the 18th.
and not a bad spot to putt from, just left of the hole.
About half the field this week played like Morgan.
Going to be a drop shot for Jin Young Ko, so she is going to fall to 3 over par. And even if she makes a birdie on the last, she's going to have some work to do tomorrow.
She talks about how important happiness is to her, both on and off the golf course, and she doesn't look too happy right now. You can see it in her face. She doesn't have that.
Tough to tell yourself what this is going to do after watching two putts from the same line do opposite things, but no problem.
Other side of the course, 17th hole of the day for Jing Yan of China. Played collegiately briefly at Washington. All right, back to back. So Yan joins the group at 5 under. Tom mentioned it earlier, that victory at the KPMG Women's PGA Championship was her breakout victory. It came in at Olympia Fields. Hole for par. All right, take it.
Yeah, laid up with the 9-iron, which just makes you so mad to have to do that. Only a lob wedge remaining. That's one of the lower lob wedges you'll ever see struck.
Keep those secrets within the KORDA family.
Oh, yes. Now she had bookend 66s.
Oh. You know it's a tough day when your good putts don't go in.
You know, last week on the third round, she and her caddy had a bet that she had to shoot 4 under for dinner. And Dave ended up having to bring her takeout dinner in her hotel room. I wonder if they're going to have a little bet tomorrow, you know. They struggle to read the grain, the speed, the break. It really can affect putts. There's probably not a lot of grain in these greens as they're so new. But, you know, just managing the rough, how flyer lies, what flyer lies you might get. Easier to judge if you've played it your whole life.